Trying to find out the story behind this tremendously interesting relic. Well, when Seal and I were out in Texas last October, we were driven around a lot by Cedric, her brother. And we went around different towns, and we came to a whatever you might call a gift shop. And we looked around inside, and this young lady that was apparently tending the cash register was waiting for us to make our choices and purchases. And I just casually said to her, how much for the skull? And she laughingly said, oh, about $5. And I was thinking about taking it home under my arm on the plane, so I didn't do anything about it. But after we got back to the house, Cedric and Beth's house in Sherman, Texas, I remarked quite a few times about how I would like to have had the skull. And I remarked a few more times after we got home. Well, it appears that Cecile telephoned her brother and said, would you pick the skull up? And he says, I'm ahead of you. And it appears that he had gone down back to the same place and said that he would like to buy it. And they were a little reluctant because they didn't really take me too seriously. And furthermore, it had been part of their decor for 20 years. And he described me to them, and they remembered me, and the young lady said, of course we'll sell it. So they did. They sold it to him, and Cedric wrapped it up in, what do you call that stuff?
That stuff that pops.
The bubble pack.
Bubble pack. And they sent it to me, and we opened it up Christmas Day, and
surprise.
So now I have this. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, but I know it'll be great things. In fact, they may even ask me to run for president because I have something like this. After all, Lyndon Johnson ran on his Texas heritage.
And that gives you Texas heritage. You now represent the South and the North.
Yeah.
Lloyd asked me to ask, said if he knew anything about the background of this animal. So I asked and said, I'm not sure. All I know is it's been in the family for 20 years, but if I know Lloyd, he will know the story behind it. And if he doesn't, he'll make one up.
Sounds like a politician to me.
So maybe you can think of a story, Lloyd.
Probably when Richard Nixon's great-great-great-grandparents are heading west in '49 in the wagon train, they shot a wild steer and ate it when they were starving. And this enabled them to get on to San Clemente and enabled him to run for president.
Whittier.
Whittier? Oh.
That's where he grew up,
Oh, okay.
I think.
So that's probably the story behind this. Either him or
well, the history like that ought to be mounted.
So probably, as a matter of fact,
Not to be hung.
Cedric shouldn't have been too surprised because there were a couple of these in his waiting room at his his plant in the waiting room there inside there, and they were on the wall up there, so he shouldn't be too surprised that I wanted this. Except I've been told I cannot put it up over the mantelpiece. It doesn't go well with the crush. And I've been told it won't go in the dining room on the wall. And several other places.
How about the porch? Well, why don't you just say where would be nice that your wife
in the trash barrel?
No.
The bedroom?
I think you can hang it on the porch.
Yeah, I think the porch is a very rustic.
Porch is a good place for it.
I'll put a few paint a few Indian signs and things here. And then hang it on the back door.
No.
No?
And hang a couple of bells on either.
You're going to hang it on the porch, aren't you? I'm getting kind of used to it.
Yeah. That's why I say.
It's an ugly thing.
If Lucille held this for a few minutes, she'd get to love it herself.
No,
Oh, of course. Here, take it.
Dad, come on.
I kind of like it.
you do?
It has
Well,
personality.
good for you.
See? Look.
It's got even teeth.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're kind of loose, though. You got to be
You
careful.
can take them out and hold them. Do you want one?
No thanks.
I like it, don't you?
I'll see if I can find an eyeball.
I didn't think
shriveled up a little bit.
Oh, I like
Boy,
it.
poor thing.
Yeah.
It's been
Didn't
bleached
have
for
many
years.
teeth left.
Even the horns are gone. This is just the bone inside the horn. Normally they saw them off here.
Must be many years old.
Oh, I suspect. 75 or 100. As a matter of fact, I actually think probably it goes back to Dust Bowl era in the, early 30s?
Oh, that's
Well, in the
before
per-
my time.
Of course.
You can
it
put
was.
that in your
But your
pocket.
mother must have told you about
You
the
got 4
Okies and...
Good girl.
well, that's it.
You got a pocket up here?
So, now that you have learned the true story of this skull, you may wipe your eyes with your handkerchiefs and I will go put it away.
Okay, that's a good idea. Then you'll know where it is.